Have no fear, Chosen Foods is here to defend your favorite foods from the forces of seedy oils and sketchy ingredients. With cooking oils, salad dressings, and mayo, all powered by the good fats from 100% pure avocado oil and simple, delicious ingredients. Chosen Foods.
Not all probiotics are created equal. New Ollie Precise probiotics are expertly made with clinically studied strains for targeted benefits beyond digestion, like skin health, metabolism, or even stress response. Find your Precise probiotic at a Walmart near you. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Welcome to I Talk to Ghosts. I'm your host, Jennifer. Come on in, get comfortable. Thank you for being here with me tonight in my spirit parlor. This evening, I want to talk about something I think a lot of spiritually sensitive people quietly struggle with. You may or may not even be aware of it. Let's talk about how to live a normal, grounded human life while still keeping the door open to the unseen, keeping your spirituality connection. Because most of us aren't living in monasteries. We're paying bills, we're raising kids, we're answering emails, folding laundry, and yet we also feel things. We notice energy shifts in the room, messages, nudges, feelings that don't come from logic. And the material world, it's really loud about telling us that none of that is real. It wants productivity, it wants proof, it wants measurements, metrics, efficiency. The modern world does not support intuition or subtlety or mystery or the unknown. So how do we stay connected in this modern world and also not shut down your spirituality completely? First, there's this unspoken idea that you have to choose either you're spiritual or you're practical. You have intuition or you rely on all the modern functions, that you're either grounded or you're open. And that's just not true. In fact, the most stable spiritual connections I've seen in mediums and intuitives belong to people who are deeply rooted in ordinary life. People who pay attention to their bodies, who show up for their responsibilities, who are emotionally honest, who can laugh, cook dinner, and still feel the room breathing. Spiritual connection isn't about escaping the physical world. It's about inhabiting it fully with a rich awareness of all things. It's about keeping your connection open. And what does that actually mean, to keep your connection open? First, it doesn't mean constant downloads, being on all the time, interpreting every sensation as a message, or living in altered states. Most of the time, connection is quiet, and it can look like a subtle sense of being accompanied, a gentle inner knowing, emotional sensitivity that feels informational, or a soft awareness running in the background of your day. Think of it like a window cracked open, not a door flung open wide. You don't need spirit shouting to know it's there. You don't need constant confirmation. Connection isn't measured in intensity. It's about this nurtured, ongoing undercurrent and understanding and mindset that helps you and supports you to navigate through this modern world. This is a concept that I really had to explore and investigate on my own, because I felt this giant rift between my spirituality and my physical human existence, where I could have such profound spiritual moments and experiences, like giving a medium reading and having that evidence come through that is just so undeniable. Or I would facilitate an energy healing session that had really amazing positive results. And then with each of these experiences, having to turn around and suddenly navigate having to wash the dishes or type an email or check my LinkedIn, you know what I mean? Just that juxtaposition of, wow, this is profound and spiritual, and then turn around and go, wow, this is really mundane. And the rest of the world is in this space, this physical, material space, not acknowledging spirituality, not acknowledging profound, meaningful moments, not acknowledging even their own consciousness. And it can very much feel like you're divided, or that you're presenting one life and hiding another. Or if you're not acknowledging your spirituality, then you must be, in a way, betraying it. So I want to talk about all of these things so that you can know you're not alone in these experiences. And it doesn't mean that things need to stay separated. How do we integrate these two worlds of yours together? For one, let's be honest, at some point, almost everyone who walks this path is told, you're imagining it, you're just emotional, or that's just anxiety, or you're reading into things too much. And over time, that kind of messaging can make you doubt yourself. You start translating everything into something safer, or something smaller, or something that won't be questioned. I want to reassure you of this. Any doubts that you might have about listening to one side versus the other, it doesn't cut your connection. Chronic self-dismissal can. It will certainly dampen things because your energy isn't flowing that way. Does that mean the connection is gone and you can't bring that energy back? Redirect your flow? Absolutely not. It is always there. But they say, where attention goes, energy flows. So if all of your attention is going into the physical material world, sure, you're going to feel a little disconnected. But that doesn't mean that it's gone. It can't be gone. That's like saying you're not conscious anymore. You don't have a soul anymore. That's simply not true. And let me say that you don't have to prove anything to the material world. You don't need permission to trust your own perception. Your experiences don't become invalid just because they can't be measured or it's not a shared experience with someone else. It is a very personal knowing, and that knowing comes from your own experience, not through reading it in a book or facts. It's gnosis. You know because you experienced it. You can describe something to someone, but until you experience it, you just don't fully know. And since you have experienced things, that is your knowing, not validation from someone else. The validation doesn't come from someone else believing you or multiple people believing you. That doesn't make it more valid. So how can we stay connected while living in the material world? Let's talk about what actually helps. Number 1, ground first, open second. Connection flows best through a regulated nervous system. This is why most meditations start with focusing on the breath. Also, you should eat regularly, eat healthy, sleep when you can, be in physical contact with the earth, move your body. Spiritual openness without grounding leads to burnout and confusion. Number 2, create micro moments of connection. You don't need hour-long rituals. A hand on your heart before starting the car, a quiet hello to the room before bed, a moment of stillness in the shower. These small acknowledgments keep the channel familiar. Number 3, Let spirit live in the ordinary. Spirit can also inhabit acts of making tea, walking the dog, watching light move across the room. The more you stop separating spiritual from normal, the easier it becomes to stay connected without effort. And number 4, I talked about this in my last Spirit Parlor episode. Accept the quiet seasons. Sometimes the connection goes quiet. This isn't failure. It isn't punishment. It isn't you losing anything. Often it means a new integration or rest or a shift happening beneath the surface. Trust in the rhythm of things. Next, let's talk about how you don't owe anyone explanation. This is one of the most freeing realizations there is. You don't have to perform your spirituality. You don't have to explain it. You don't have to label it. You don't have to prove it to anyone. Your connection can be private. It can be subtle. It's sacred. Some of the strongest connections are held quietly and woven into daily life instead of broadcasted. You're allowed to be both mystical and practical, intuitive and logical, open and deeply grounded as a human being. Living this way with one foot in the seen world and one in the unseen isn't a contradiction. It's a skill. It's balance, a way of listening while still participating. You're not here to escape being human. You're here to inhabit it with complete and full awareness. The connection doesn't need to be dramatic to be real. It just needs to be honored. If you would like to explore this topic further with me, head on over to my Patreon. I am going to be offering a meditation on how to connect spiritually in this modern world. You can visit patreon.com/italktoghosts for more information. Thank you for sitting with me in the Spirit Parlor today. If this episode resonated, let it settle. Just notice what stays, what resonates, and continue to weave your spirituality into your everyday life. Until next time, stay curious, stay grounded, and keep that window of spirituality slightly open at all times. Take care.